There are some serious unsuspecting carbs out there. I'm talking about foods that do have an impact on ketosis, foods that do have an impact on your overall health and fitness goals. I'm going to break down the 3 most common unsuspecting high carb foods. The first one is going to be sugar alcohols. Okay, if you've ever seen a label and you look at the nutrition facts and it says sugar alcohols on it, you might be thinking that, well, hey, that doesn't affect my carbohydrate count for the day, or that doesn't affect my calories because it doesn't really get digested. Wrong. Let me tell you what a sugar alcohol is. What it's not is a sugar, and it's not an alcohol. It's a hybrid of the two. And the way it's metabolized in the body is completely unique. You see, sugar alcohols are known as a polyol. Polyols are still technically carbohydrates, even though food labels like to list them as not being that. You see, they're broken down in the body rather differently from normal carbohydrates, but the end result is still a carb. When you consume a sugar alcohol, we don't have enzymes to break them down. So you end up just having that sugar alcohol pass through your system, partially undigested, or for the most part, not being able to be broken down. Then it goes into your colon, where the body sees, okay, there's something that hasn't been broken down, it has to do something. So it draws water into the colon through something known as passive diffusion. This passive diffusion process draws water to break down those sugar alcohols that you just consumed. That fermentation process actually ends up yielding a caloric response. Basically what that means is you end up having anywhere from 1 to 3 calories for every 1 gram of sugar alcohol that you consume. So to put this in perspective, when you consume a gram of sugar, it has 4 calories. Well, when you consume a gram of sugar alcohol, you can have up to 3 calories. So it's really not that much better than regular sugar in the first place. Now let's move into the next one, okay? This is fiber, and fiber is a big hot topic when it comes down to ketosis, and when it comes down to our metabolism. Because most people will tell you that fiber isn't broken down in the body and therefore doesn't have a metabolic response or a carb impact. That's not entirely true. Fiber is a carbohydrate whether we like it or not. We just don't have the enzyme to break it down. So generally speaking, it passes through our colon, partially undigested, and doesn't have a huge impact on blood sugar. But what it does do is something extremely unique. You see, particularly soluble fiber. Soluble fiber draws water in with it, and it creates a gel-like substance, okay? And this gel-like substance goes through your small intestine and then sits in your colon for a little bit. And through a similar process to that of sugar alcohols, it ferments. And this fermentation process creates short-chain fatty acids. Yes, carbohydrates end up creating fatty acids. Who would have thought? The body's pretty amazing. So these short-chain fatty acids have a caloric impact. In fact, even the Food and Drug Administration, the wonderful FDA, claims that fiber still yields about 2 calories per gram, which means you're having a thermic effect, you're having a metabolic response, you are still digesting some component of that fiber and still having an energy response. So yes, fiber will break a fast. Yes, too much fiber can affect ketosis. And yes, too much fiber can be a sneaky high carb thing. So just make sure that you're being careful. At the end of the day, we still want fiber. It's still roughage. It's still going to increase that bowel motility and it's going to make life a lot easier. So don't get rid of it. Just be aware of it.